When we think 21 Jump Street, we think of a popular 80s show with a young Johnny Depp with feathered hair and baby-faced cops going undercover in high schools. But most people don't realize two things. First, it got toxic behind the scenes. Johnny Depp hated the show, but was trapped by his contract and did some pretty wild things to show his disgust. And second, it had one of the more surprising ripple effects in television, fundamentally changing the TV and film industry forever. I explain it all in this, the insane rise, fall, and butterfly effect of 21 Jump Street. Let's go back to 1985 and a wealthy, powerful man named Rupert Murdoch who was about to attempt something that everyone thought was impossible. He was going to launch a fourth television network. For context, the last time someone tried that, a network called Dumont in the 50s, it failed spectacularly. For 40 years, television had been controlled by the big three, ABC, CBS, and NBC. They own everything at this point. But Murdoch, like a honey badger, didn't care. In March 1985, he buys 50% of 20th Century Fox. In May, he pays $2.55 billion to acquire 6 independent TV stations in major markets: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Dallas, Washington, D.C., and Houston. And on October 9th, 1986, the Fox Broadcasting Company launches. And things didn't really go that well. They were reaching only 22% of American households. They were hemorrhaging money, no hits, and everyone in the industry is basically at this point writing their obituary. Fox needs a winner, badly. But here's the problem. They can't afford the traditional Hollywood model. Scripts, actors, sound stages, production crews, it's all too expensive. Enter Stephen J. Cannell, the legendary TV producer behind The A-Team and The Rockford Files. He and Patrick Hasburg come to Fox with a concept, a show about young-looking cops who go undercover in high schools to investigate youth crime. It's based on a real undercover unit in Los Angeles, so the premise is solid, but here's the catch. Cannell tells Fox he can't afford to produce it in LA. You see, homeowners demand $5,000 to $10,000 to rent their houses for a day. Neighbors fire up lawnmowers and demand payment to turn them off. Not a bad little side hustle if you ask me. Anyway, Cannell proposes something radical. What if we film it in Vancouver? Vancouver, British Columbia had almost no production industry in 1986, but they're desperate for business. The Canadian dollar exchange rate is favorable, and the city offers something Los Angeles doesn't: cooperation. We go to Vancouver and they'd say, "Come on in and shoot for free," Cannell's producer Chuck DeBelco later recalled. We weren't being ripped off all the time. Fox agrees and greenlights the show. Now they need a star. They cast an actor named Jeff Yeager as Officer Tom Hansen. They filmed the entire pilot episode with him. Then Fox watches the footage and basically says, "Ow!" That's right, Yeager bombs, ha. And in an unprecedented move, Fox fires him and orders the entire pilot to be reshot with a different actor. Remember, Fox is penny pinching, so this is a big gamble, but Fox is also desperate. They need this show to work, and this is where Johnny Depp enters the scene. Depp is 23 years old, completely broke, and has only done one notable role, getting sucked into a bed and killed in A Nightmare on Elm Street. He's a musician at heart, not an actor. He doesn't even want to do television. But again, he's broke. So when his agent calls about auditioning for 21 Jump Street, Depp shows up, even though he has one of the worst cases of flu he's ever experienced. He does the screen test, signs some papers, and before he knows it, he's whisked off to Vancouver to film. He joined the existing cast, which featured Holly Robinson Peete as Officer Judy Hoffe, Peter DeLuise, son of Dom DeLuise, as the wisecracking Doug Penhall, and Dustin Nguyen as the intense Harry Truman Ioki. In those early episodes, the unit was actually led by Captain Richard Jenko, played by Frederick Forrest, a serious actor known for Apocalypse Now, but he was soon replaced by the man who would become the face of the command, Stephen Williams, as the no-nonsense Captain Adam Fuller. April 12, 1987, 21 Jump Street premieres on Fox as the network's first drama series. It airs alongside 2 other new shows, Married with Children and The Tracy Ullman Show. And I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying those 2 other shows also fundamentally changed television. Anyway, the premise is simple. Officer Tom Hansen and 3 other babyface cops, Doug Penhall, Judy Hoffe, and Harry Truman Ioki, work out of an abandoned church at 21 Jump Street. They go undercover in high schools to investigate drug trafficking, gang violence, statutory rape, and child abuse. The show is different from everything else on television. While the big three networks are still doing sanitized family programming, 21 Jump Street tackles AIDS, homophobia, abortion, teen suicide, topics that are basically taboo on network TV. And it works. In August of 1987, 21 Jump Street became the first Fox series to win its time slot against the big three networks. Johnny Depp becomes an overnight teen idol. His face is on every magazine cover. He's making $45,000 per episode, a massive payday at the time. Girls are screaming his name, but here's the problem. He absolutely hates it. I felt like I was in a prison creatively, Depp later said. They created this image, this monster, and they were selling it to the world. Basically, he had become a product rather than an actor. To the network, he was a pretty face that was keeping their entire billion-dollar gamble from going bankrupt. And he was done with it. But the thing was, he was trapped. You see, when Fox launched as a rebel fourth network, they were desperate to lock in talent to prove to advertisers they were stable, so they offered unprecedented deals that included 13-episode guarantees, but these came with ironclad, multi-year contracts that gave the network, not the actor, the power to renew. Fox owned him until the end of season 4, and even then, they could renew Depp without his approval because he had already consented when signing the original contract. And if he quit, Fox could sue him for millions in damages or, more realistically, blacklist him from the industry for breach of contract. And Fox had zero incentive to let him go. 21 Jump Street was their first breakout drama and a crucial piece of the network's survival. And Depp was so vital to their success, they overlooked his frustrations and his offset behavior. In March 1989, during the filming of season 3, Depp was attending a party at a local hotel when a noise complaint led to a confrontation with a 19-year-old security guard. The altercation turned physical, and Depp was arrested for assault. His lawyer later explained that Depp simply overreacted to what he saw was a power-tripping abuse of authority. The judge eventually granted Depp an unconditional discharge. It was a PR issue, but Fox wasn't giving up their golden goose just because he was unhappy or because of a minor brush with the law. Fox continued to lean into his appeal with younger demographics, and Depp continued to hate it. And naturally, things escalated. By season 3, he was openly expressing his hatred for the show. In a 1989 interview, when asked to describe going back for a new season in one word, Depp responded, "Work, contract, responsibility." In the first 2 seasons, I think there was a lot of good stuff going on, he said. But I think towards the 3rd season, it started to get a little showboat. It's just started to become false, started to become this action-packed can of soup. You just market it and send it out. Fox made things worse by bringing in Richard Grieco as Detective Dennis Booker, another pretty boy character to split the heartthrob duties with Depp. The split in screen time created tension, and Depp felt even more trapped, so Depp starts actively trying to get fired. He trashes his trailer, he causes trouble on set, he changes his dialogue without warning. He even refuses to participate in certain episodes entirely. One episode had to be completely rewritten for Grieco's character because Depp objected to the storyline. It was out of control, Depp later told The Telegraph. I did everything possible to free myself from the show. And for Depp, finally the stars aligned. Director Tim Burton, who just made Batman and Beetlejuice, was looking for someone to play Edward Scissorhands. Every A-list actor in Hollywood is being considered. Burton saw something in Johnny Depp, something beyond the teen idol image. He saw the weird, quirky, artistic soul underneath. He offers Depp the role. This is his chance to be taken seriously as an actor. And at the same time, 21 Jump Street started failing. While ratings were huge in seasons 1 and 2, they had dropped sharply by season 4. His $45,000 per episode salary, when combined with all the backstage sabotage, finally made him more expensive than the advertising revenue he was bringing in. So Fox finally agrees to release Depp from his contract after season 4 wraps in 1990, and the show immediately dies. Without Johnny Depp, 21 Jump Street had no anchor. Dustin Nguyen also leaves. The show moves to first-run syndication, basically television purgatory, for one final season with replacement actors nobody cares about, even though I will always have a soft spot for Michael DeLuise because of his role in Encino Man, which created one of my favorite gifs. Anyway, on April 27, 1991, 21 Jump Street aired its final episode after 103 total episodes across 5 seasons. It never won an Emmy, but the once disgruntled Depp who basically risked his Hollywood reputation to get out of the show, would go on to become a massive movie star with Edward Scissorhands, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and eventually Pirates of the Caribbean, among many other films. Depp hated the show, but it gave him the platform to launch his A-list film career. But the butterfly effect of 21 Jump Street goes well beyond Depp. Remember how it was one of the first major American productions filmed in Vancouver? Yes, there were a few others before, MacGyver being one of them, but 21 Jump Street put Vancouver on the map and was the catalyst for the entire industry north of the border. By the 90s, Vancouver was becoming known as Hollywood North. The X-Files filmed there, Smallville, Supernatural, Battlestar Galactica. Today, Vancouver is the third largest film production city in North America. The infrastructure that exists there, the sound stages, the crews, the equipment rental houses, can be directly tracked back to 21 Jump Street. And then there's the format. The show was a pioneer in the teen drama space. It proved that Fox could compete with the big three by being edgier, tackling controversial topics, and appealing to younger audiences. You see, the big three had long relied on the least objectionable program model, broad appeal shows designed to avoid alienating viewers and thus advertisers, resulting in often bland mass market content. Fox did the opposite and proved that approach was commercially viable. The show attracted a loyal teen audience, especially girls, fueled by Johnny Depp's breakout stardom, and helped build Fox's brand as the edgier or alternative network. Fox built on this momentum in the early 90s with shows like Beverly Hills 90210, and from there, the teen drama genre exploded, influencing the launch of youth-skewing networks like the WB and UPN. It launched one of Hollywood's biggest stars, fundamentally changed TV and film. Not bad for a show about babyface cops in high schools. If you enjoyed this Retro TV Deep Dive, subscribe for more and leave your favorite 21 Jump Street moment in the comments. Thanks for watching.